Some people don't know. They don't understand that this is not new. It is not a trend, a style, or a life choice. People of the LGBTQ community have always existed. They just didn't have the safe space to express their true selves. But today, we are bringing their history to light.
Do you want your son enticed into the world of homosexuals? Or your daughter lured into lesbianism?
We were considered sick. The American Psychiatric Association listed homosexuality as a mental illness. There were 1,500 LGBTQ organizations by the end of that first year after Stonewall.
The terror attack on a gay nightclub.
I am proud to be gay. I am proud to be a Republican.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
Our first question is, can you tell if someone's gay by their physical appearance?
No, you're not able to tell someone's gay based on their physical appearance.
I don't think so. I think when you're a homosexual, it's not just an aesthetic. Like maybe sometimes like that bit of pride falls into your natural aesthetic and your natural style, and you may come out as that typical gay person, but oftentimes not really.
No, not by physical appearance, but by like their vibe, maybe how they interact. I can kind of tell, but with some people you can't.
No. I think you shouldn't judge like what a person is like or what their personality is like based on their clothing, because honestly, you can being gay isn't a style. If you're gay, you can wear whatever the heck you want, just like any other normal person.
I think religion should play a role in sexual expression.
I don't think that religion should hinder sexual expression, but I think if you believe in something and what you're doing is against your religion, that's a difficult thing. But it all depends on you and what you believe.
I personally don't think it should, but it all depends on that person. If you really love your religion and you really want to stay on basis with that, and it is your decision to go against your sexuality to do that, then that's your decision. But it also has a consequence with that.
I personally don't think it should. I don't really think that other people should tell somebody else what they should do with their relationships or their personal lives.
I think like in modern times, like religions should kind of adapt to suit everyone's like preferences, like individually. I think like historically, like religious texts and everything have kind of been like a general guide, but not like specifically for any one individual.
Do you think being gay is a choice?
No.
No, I don't think being gay is a choice.
Being gay is, I don't know if it's a choice or not. Chromosomes have a lot to do with it.
For some, depending on their experiences, I personally, I feel like I was born this way, and I grew into it, and I blossomed into it. For some people, it's a sexuality, a sexual kind of experiment, and I think everyone should be able to explore their sexual freedom.
I believe at a certain age, you do make the decision that you know what you want, and that's what you choose. You want to be with lovers of the same sex, that's what you choose.
I don't know. I would say no, but then again, I would say yes. My friends who are gay though say it's not.
Honestly, to me, I don't think it's a choice. I honestly just think that it is something that you're just born that way, and there's nothing wrong with being born that way.
I think people are born gay. I think that they really didn't have a choice on how they felt towards another person.
No, I'm sure it's not. It's just a fact. We are born like this.
No, I don't think it's a choice.
Do you think the world has become more accepting of the LGBT community?
I think there are certain pockets of the world that have become more accepting of LGBT community, but I think there are also places in the world that have become less accepting as well.
Yes, I do.
There's just a lot more that I feel like the world is doing to be more accepting. Like, I know where I live in Colorado, there's actually bathrooms that say there's no gender that are on it. It's either girl, boy, or anybody kind of thing. And I think it's more accepting also because it's just more normal now.
Yes, I definitely think that it has. I remember my parents used to tell me that whenever they were growing up, they had friends that were gay, but they couldn't tell their parents or they couldn't tell anybody because they would be treated differently, especially like social scenarios. And now we have a whole gay pride parade, which I am completely in love with, and I'm very happy that we've grown into that kind of society that accepts more of the LGBTQ community. I don't think that it's too saturated at all. I think it's finally getting the credit that it deserves because they've been not like in hiding, but they've been suppressed for so long, and now we're entering this time where they're celebrated, and I find that it's completely beautiful.
I think our generation is more accepting of the LGBT community. Sorry.
Well, I think that there are a lot more rights. Actually, LGBTQ didn't exist, right? So it was just lesbian and gay and bisexual. It wasn't transgender or queer. So I think that it's more inclusive, right? More diversity. I think that there are more rights, right? We have the right to marry, right? Which is really important. We are able to adopt in certain states, well, most states. So in that respect, I think it's changed a lot.
Do you feel comfortable around someone who's a part of the LGBT community?
I don't have a problem with being around anybody. I'm around everybody.
I can definitely say that I do feel comfortable around anybody that's a part of the LGBT community.
Do you think transgender people should be excluded from the military?
I definitely think that that is totally biased, and I think that they should be a part of the military. Absolutely not.
I don't really know why they would be. So.
Do you think there should be a straight parade?
I never thought of it. No, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, why not?
No, I do not think that there should be a straight parade. I don't think that there should be celebration for things that aren't necessarily suppressed.
My name is Navante McDowell. I'm 17 and I like to sing and act and perform in general. When did I realize I was a part of the LGBTQ community? I was about 2 or 3, and I remember me and my mom, we were in a shelter. And so at the shelter, they allowed kids or like different families to live there, obviously. but there was this kid that I was friends with, and I guess we were playing around, and then one day I decided to kiss him because I was I was fast, and I basically remember the feeling from it, and it was not a feeling of like disgust or anything, but it was enjoyable, and I felt like I should do it some more. And then I turned out gay. Personally speaking, I don't plan on coming out. I mean, I came out to multiple people that I chose, and those range from ages, I believe, 15 was the day that I decided to come out to select friends, but family-wise, I'm not done with that, and I don't really plan on doing it personally because I don't have that type of connection with my family. But friend-wise, I came out from the ages 15. I have select family members that I choose to tell them about what I am or what my sexual orientation is. But overall, my friends were more supportive and more open about it, and I love them for it. Honestly, I believe there has been way more of a positive influence with this generation and their support of the LGBT community, because it kind of reflects on like the amount of campaigns and programs that are open to the LGBT community, along with talking to my grandmother about certain things that her generation isn't really okay with this current generation. So yeah, I can see a little compare and contrast.
So how do you think people's reactions would be different if you were born in a different time period?
I honestly feel like everything would feel like I'm walking on pins constantly, especially with trying to express myself in the current situation or the current way I am now. Especially with the openness of everyone else, especially this generation. Everyone is more carefree and stuff, while back then they were trying to hold down small, stale traditions. My favorite part of being a part of the community is how like supportive people can be, especially finding out the different ways, or like basically like the coming to age stories about people my age, and if they did come out or not, or like when they experience this. And overall, just like the amount of support from the youth more is being more influenced in certain things such as TV shows, cartoons, and things of the like portrayed in society now. Do I feel safe expressing my sexuality? I feel more confident in doing it now, like in 2019, rather than the past years, because of certain things that I have put myself into, and like just overall how I spend time with other people have also influenced that. But I would say in general, not necessarily, but I'm on that track of doing it more openly. In what ways people can show their support for the LGBT community? Overall, just being open-minded and mature about certain things, and just realizing that everyone is different in their own way, and just support.
How do you think your sexuality may affect your future goals, whether academic or career-wise?
Well, in general, I don't really see it as being too much of a positive thing, career-wise or educational-wise. I feel like I might have to work just a bit harder and try to apply myself more, honestly. And I feel like also describing me being a part of the community often gets left out because of the harsh stigma with it in general, but it's more of a setback thing, I believe. It's pretty obvious that I don't have much of a supportive system when it comes to family-wise, but I've learned to grow with it, and able to accept myself more than others accept me. And I'm just like a tiny bit more unapologetic about being myself, which is cool. Should religion play a role in sexual expression? It's kind of difficult to talk about, because both go with intersexuality, but No, not really. Your spiritual beliefs and practice shouldn't really hurt or try to define the way that you decided who you like and things of that nature. No, I don't believe there should be straight pride because we don't have straight people dying every day based on the people who they marry, who they have children with, or who they decide to kiss and show public affection towards. And we live in a heteronormative society, so everything is basically the straight way or no way. And if it is anything other than that, then you have to work 3 times as hard. Every day is almost a straight day. So no, straight pride isn't a thing and shouldn't be a thing.
Hi.
Hey there, how's it going?
Good.
My name is Matt Ford, I'm 27, and I am an actor, writer, and video producer.
What do you define your sexuality as?
My sexuality, I go back and forth. I use the terms gay or queer in general just because it's more of an umbrella term. So yeah, I use those two kind of interchangeably.
Okay. When did you realize you were a part of the LGBTQ community?
See, that's a trickier question. When did I realize I was part of the LGBT community? So it's kind of like a two-parter there. I realized that I was different than what people would call queer for as long as I can remember. I knew since I was a kid. Being a part of the actual community didn't happen until I came out later on, close to the end of college. I started coming out at the age of 21, really, but coming out for me was a very long process. It was very gradual. It wasn't like I put up a Facebook post and announced it to the world. I started telling close friends and family at first, and then slowly started living my life more authentically and not really caring what people thought. So like 21, 22.
Okay. Do you feel that your family and friends reacted positively?
For the most part, my family and friends reacted super positively. Really, they were all super supportive. I only had issues with one of my siblings who was very religious and kind of black and white in their religion, who I had some issues with, but overwhelmingly it was pretty supportive, I would say.
Okay. Do you feel that your generation is more supportive of expressing sexuality than others?
Oh, I definitely feel that my generation is more supportive in expressing and accepting different sexualities and gender identities and stuff. I mean, I don't know the exact statistic, but I think I read somewhere that 1 in 6 millennials or Gen Zers identify as queer in some capacity, something crazy like that. So, yeah, I think there's much more of an open mindset with younger people than generations past.
Okay. Okay. How do you think people's reactions would be different if you were born in a different time?
In a different time?
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of hard to gauge. It would totally depend on the time period. If I were born in England a couple of centuries ago, this, being gay would not be accepted in society like it is today. I mean, we've always existed, and I'm sure there would be, their own underground circles that existed. But yeah, no, I mean, I think we're one of the most accepting. We're living in one of the most accepting time periods that has ever been. So, at least as far as like modern Western civilization is concerned.
Okay. What is your favorite part about being a part of the LGBTQ community?
My favorite part. I think, okay, let me see if I can put this concisely. I think my favorite part of being part of the LGBT community is the sense of camaraderie that kind of comes with it. I don't want to speak for everyone, I'll certainly only speak for myself, but I definitely get a sense of belonging and community against the LGBT community. It's kind of like, when you meet someone who is also queer or gay or whatever, and in my personal case, there's just automatically you have something in common that kind of bonds you, and there's a cultural connection there that kind of is assumed in a lot of ways. So yeah, at least that's been my experience with it. It's been something that I really value and get a lot of joy from. I do not feel safe expressing my sexuality wherever I go. I'm originally from Alabama, and it is definitely not as open as somewhere like New York City. And even in New York City, you know, I've had friends who were called faggot on the street, and when I'm catching the train to go to the beach, I've had people make, you know, suspicious remarks towards me, things like that. So no place is perfect. Definitely still have a long way to go, but yeah, it's not always the safe haven, even in liberal cities like New York or LA, but it's sometimes made out to be.
Okay. In what ways do you think people can show their support for the LGBTQ people more?
I think a way people can be better allies in the LGBT community is kind of, I hope this doesn't sound too vague, but it's kind of the same as being an ally to any other marginalized group. It's like showing up and speaking out when it matters. You know, you can't just say, oh, my friend is gay, so I'm an ally. Well, that's great that you're friends with that person, but what are you doing to help further the community, and what are you doing to help speak out about injustices that are happening, and you know, really trying to make a difference? I would say there's a distinct difference between like, oh my god, I have so many gay friends, versus like, okay, well, are you showing up when a hate crime happens, or when Trump is trying to ban transgender people from the military? You know, there's a big difference there.
Okay. How do you think your sexuality may affect your future goals, whether academic or career-wise?
For me personally, or is it more of like a general for all queer people?
For you personally.
I mean, for me personally, as an actor, I do kind of think about that, because there's this perceived notion in Hollywood. There's like some old school homophobia along with a lot of other issues that exist there. So, you know, for me to get a part as a leading man or something, I kind of think about that. Like, will I be perceived as too gay to be a leading man, or to play these straight roles, or things like that? And like in developing my own series, you know, I wrote a series earlier this year that I'm producing that is very queer-centric, and, you know, I wonder even if there's an audience in mainstream America for that. You know, or if it's something where people don't necessarily want to watch shows like that, which I think is slowly being disproven with shows like Euphoria and other queer shows that are, you know, on HBO and mainstream networks right now. But yeah, it's something I think about my own career and development.
Hi, my name is Linda James. I'm retired at this time. I have done child care. The LGBTQ has more rights than the generation before. They have rights to get married, to adopt a child, to be on Broadway plays, the rights to express their views. They're politicians, they're into sports and army. They have much more rights today. I think there's still discrimination, but not as much as it was when I was younger. Well, I didn't know a lot about Stonewalls, but I did a little research. And from my understanding, the riot in 1969 was the start of the gay liberation. Each one of them has a heart that beats like mine, a soul that seeks joy, and is a human being that creates